And welcome back indeed. This is the first episode of season 14, which is crazy. So we're like 200 and whatever episodes in. But anyhow, hopefully this is working and we're live on YouTube and no one is watching. But I'm here
Hold on,
with...
we're live on YouTube right now. Like real influencers and stuff.
Wow.
I hope
John,
my granny's not watching. She won't be, she's dead. Sorry.
John, you look like your oar has dropped.
I have. My oar dropped at the same time my jaw dropped. It was, amazing.
There we go. And if anyone is...
preview.
Yeah, and if anyone's clued into what's been going on today, yes, there was a big Apple announcement. I actually meant to kick off season 14 with an AI interviewing me, but unfortunately, her side, yes, I did name her a her, did not record, so that will happen another time. But we are kicking off with a massive Apple event today, where lots of new things were announced and Alex was completely unimpressed. So let's do introductions for those of you that have not joined us before. Tailoring Talk Magazine, we are a magazine-style podcast, and I'm Roberto Rivera, bespoke tailor by day, and I do this by night. Jon Evans. Jon is our resident...
Beleaguered teacher.
Beleaguered teacher.
Yeah, struggling a bit. It's hard work at the moment.
Yes. And then Alex Hansford, our voice of reason, except for today, because he's representing the Android, Team Android, and is going to tell us why none of what Apple announced means impresses. I don't know.
Means much to him.
Yeah, but don't take words out of my mouth. I've got plenty more.
Oh God. Oh God.
Okay, so. There is a lot to get to, so we're going to dive into it. We're going to try, well, Jon and I at least are going to try and come at this from a layperson point of view. I am also going to shut my door because my dogs are going off on one.
I think they want to join in, Bobby. That's why they've got
views too. They might be on Alex's side. Okay, so I think where I would like to start, before we dive into the event, we're going to try and come at this from a layperson's point of view. Alex and Jon are slightly more technical than me, so they might just go off on their usual tangents about, Fusion this and that and blah, blah. Alex is already shaking his head.
No need for
and obviously
simpler.
we're going to run through features, but we're going to try and tell you what that actually means to you as an actual user. What I want to do first, though, is just very quickly share pre-event what we sort of hopes, aspirations, expectations, whatever. So I'll just start with myself. So I was thinking that I would be upgrading my original Watch Ultra to the Ultra 3. Whatever features they announced didn't matter because my Ultra is a bit scratched up. The battery is draining like crazy. It's not lasting as long as it used to. And I just fancy a black one. The phones... We've started already.
Don't we all?
Maybe
we
started. Sorry.
We've started already.
People who watch the Mission Impossible podcast know what we're talking about.
I fancied a black watch.
Yeah, a watch.
So that was that. On the phones, I'd seen the kind of renders of the iPhone 17 Pro. I will usually always go for a Pro Max model because I need the battery life. But I wasn't sure from the dummies that we've been seeing leaked for the last few weeks. I just thought that the iPhone Pro looked a bit ugly. So I was thinking that I might skip a year, wait till next year and see if they introduce a folding phone so that I can get on Alex's whole folding phone train. And AirPods, I love my AirPods Pro 2, so I had no intention of upgrading these. So we will see where I got to post-event. Jon.
I am still rocking, I think it's the iPhone 13. It's a very old phone now. I've replaced the battery in it to keep it going for this announcement. My big challenge is, right, okay, here's the background. I have an Apple Watch Ultra 1 as well as Bobby, and I'm looking to replace it as well. I don't think my battery is as bad as yours. I use the optimal charging, you know, you can, it charges to 60, and then you top it up in the morning. And I wonder if that's helped my watch. Mine's still on about 50% at bedtime, roughly. The phone's actually really good, but let's be honest, we don't need to upgrade our phones, but we want to. My contract is actually under my wife's name. Many years ago, I was rather she would get it rather than me. I was trying to stay under the wire here so people couldn't get to me, right, in my previous job for MI6. So you look it up, Jonathan Evans. You'll see a rating for him on MI6. In fact, he was the leader at one point. So I want to transfer all my paraphernalia. I've got an existing O2 account I use with my iPad Pro, and O2 says it's all good. You can transfer everything over, just even the phone number. But I've discovered this evening, whilst looking at how to pay off, I want to pay everything off. My phone's paid off. My Apple Watch has got another year, but I can pay it off in one go now if I want to. Except O2 won't let me do that. O2 will not let you settle your plan. I've tried. All right, so I can do a one-off payment, but I've still got like tiny monthly payments of like 90p for the next 2 years, because otherwise I can't move over. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, because it's a weird thing with their contracts where they won't allow you to pay off the whole plan in one go. I can see Bobby's eyes glazing over, so I'll move on. So yeah, so I want to get the Ultra 3. I want to get the new orange 17 Pro Max, because I'm rocking the Pro at the moment, but my eyes can't really read all the detail on the screen anymore, and I want a bigger phone for that, so I can slightly increase.
But John, was that something that you knew you wanted before the event?
Yes, it was. I was going to go for the Pro Max, whatever.
Yeah.
I appreciate that we're probably going to go up to a terabyte, aren't we, these days? I'm hoping because I'm hoping that the starting,
not unless you pay for it.
Well, the new starting size is 256, isn't it? Now.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping that all of those, and there's a new 2 terabyte tier as well in the Pro Max. So I'm hoping, which we'll come to, I'm hoping that the tiers will have dropped to the point where the terabyte now is a bit less. I think Alex is looking at the pricing online now. I'm looking at 2.
Yeah, we're gonna get through.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're gonna get through all of that.
Holy moly!
What did you think before the event you were going to buy? That was it.
Okay, sorry, it's me.
Okay,
iPhone Pro Max of some size and Apple Watch Ultra, not the AirPods until mine run out of battery.
Brilliant.
Yeah, which is what Alex, you said, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Alex. Obviously, what phone are you on? You're on a fold phone. Is it the Samsung or is it the Honor or something?
No, I've got the Honor.
Jessie's decided that she needs to join the thing now.
Oh, that's sweet. No, I've got the Honor V2, which is, and we'll be talking about this later when we start.
Is that a dual or triple fold, Alex?
No, it's just a dual fold.
Okay.
But when we're talking about thin phones, I have some knowledge of this.
Sure.
So I'm not particularly impressed with any of it, to be fair, but I'm not an Apple person, and I'll explain more about that later. I just think that you want the Iron Brew color, don't you? Let's be honest.
Yep. Oh yeah, Iron Brew.
I was thinking of the right color for it, and I just think Iron Brew has to be the right one. And why not? Like it's a nice color phone. I really enjoy some of the colors actually, and it's a hell of a lot more interesting than just like a black or a white one. So I'm like super happy with the colors. And I think the thing is, a lot of people go for the Pro as default now. so basically they can just put like all their efforts into that, and then basically the rest of them kind of get like a poor man's version of it, and so I think for a lot of people their default will be going for a Pro nowadays, and particularly because they've put an even larger battery in. We'll talk about the size of the battery at some point.
I was going to ask you about that. Something I want to ask
but
about.
Anyway, it's so yeah, I mean, it's say if you're due a renewal and you really need one, then why not? I don't think it's bad. It's just it's more expensive than perhaps it should be, but like it's fine because like it's up to them how much they charge for things.
Bobby,
but other than that, it's fine. Like it's not. Bobby's just kind of trying
I
to.
wasn't asking for opinions.
No. I want to ask Bobby's opinion on something else though. Bobby, were you tempted during this announcement? I know we're kind of swayed by the fanciness of it all. Were you still considering holding back this year for what could be a year next year where there's a folding Apple phone? Were you tempted just to say, no, I'm going to wait? Or when you saw that big, hard orange shell appear on the screen, did you think,
It's not known for its
That's
restraint.
that's not what tipped me over, right?
oh,
That is not what tipped me over. But
I think I know what it is.
They've
I think
got
I know.
chunky
I think I
text
know
as
what
well.
tipped you over. I think I know what tipped you over. I can guess.
Oh,
okay, go on then. So we'll see
There's
if you're
one
right.
feature in particular that I thought is going to be excellent for everyone, especially people filming themselves with iPhones. And that feature is being able to, and we'll talk about it later on, but to being able
The
to
dual
hold
camera.
the phone, the camera on the front, being able to hold it vertically and still getting landscape shots whilst holding it vertically, securely in the hand, in this sort of center stage effect. That to me
Yeah.
is the one software-based and hardware-based bit improvement I think is really clever. Alex, are there any Android phones that can do that?
so what? So talk me through it because I'm a bit
Okay.
confused now.
Well,
jumping
can
ahead.
we
This is
can we get into it
Sorry.
because
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
so much to get through,
we have,
and
you're
I
right.
don't, and then I've got to edit
All right.
stuff and all the rest of it, and I don't want to be here till bloody 1 in the morning. Okay.
Okay.
So I need to, as always, try and keep you two contained. But what I do want Alex to do is, as I'm going through the features of things, I want him to basically do the whole. "Oh, we've had that for like 7 years."
Yeah, I want to hear that too.
And also to also tell us about the Android version of
Options.
it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Okay, I will just say this at the start. The reason why Apple does take a bit longer to come to the table, but when they execute it better than anybody else. There you go. Anyway,
Come
moving
on.
on.
Just
Strong words
try.
there from Bobby.
Their fold phone is going to be amazing.
I have a question about that later on as well.
The event started, and it's all the flashy stuff. And we knew that at the very end they were going to tell us that it was all shot on iPhone 17 Pro. But anyway, we got a little montage of stuff. Now they did show. I don't know if they were just showing different Apple products, but I kind of saw the suitcase being dragged with the AirTags, and I'm thinking, oh my god, are they going to announce new AirTags as well? Because I actually need to buy some, and I'm holding off until they do, but they didn't. And then Tim Cook gives his whole, it's like his
Good
usual
morning.
cliched and stuff. Get your bingo cards out. And they started with AirPods Pro 3. Now, AirPods Pro 2, fantastic. I don't know what they did with the shape, but there was a subtle design change, I believe, which means people like me that don't have a tragus can actually wear AirPods Pro 2 and they, by and large, don't fall out every 5 seconds. I find the sound quality on them is absolutely fantastic. I've just done a little upgrade. I've got Flare Audio's inserts, which just help create even more of a sort of channel in the earbud, and it does actually elevate the sound quality and it improves the ANC. And I was thinking, I don't need to change these. I don't care what they announce on the AirPods Pro 3 unless I missed something. AirPods Pro 3, here's the feature list. So we now get heart rate monitoring. The one thing they didn't talk about, because you do have heart rate monitoring on the Power Beats Pro 2s, but if you have an Apple Watch, it will always use the heart rate monitoring from the Apple Watch, which kind of makes the heart rate monitoring on the Beats completely redundant, although that could be handy for Android users because Beats are interchangeable between the two. They've increased the spatial audio capability, so you should get a much wider soundstage now when you're listening to tracks in Dolby Atmos and spatial audio. They are giving their best fit ever. They're giving us 5 ear tips now rather than 3. Playback time has increased. It used to be 6 hours. It's now 8 hours with ANC. And for hearing aid users, 10 hours. IP57 rated, which means you can get as hot and sweaty as you want in the gym, or you can even go out for a run in the rain and your AirPods are not going to be effective. And you also get double the ANC of the AirPods Pro 2. And if you're on the original AirPods, you get 4 times the noise cancellation. Which for me is quite attractive because the only thing, as someone who commutes in London every day, apart from this week because of the bloody TfL strikes, the ANC could be better on the tube. So that's attractive. And now you have live translation on the AirPods.
Oh man, that was so cool.
What that means, Alex, if you missed it, is, let's say you're in a different country. Let's say you're in Portugal. You're talking to a native speaker. Live translation, when they talk to you, it will sort of dim their voice down, lower the volume of their voice, and Siri will translate what they're saying in your ear in English, and then you can hold your phone up to them, and it will then, when you respond, it will live translate in Portuguese back to them, or you can have it speak to them, which I know is something that definitely Samsung Galaxy was doing a year or two ago. But this apparently with all the new tech is going to be working a lot more fluid. That for me was like, when I go back home to see family in Spain, that would be something that is just so useful while I'm still learning the language, just to be able to keep up with conversations and so on.
Alex, they showed two people. I mean, the thing I found really cool was two different people of different languages sitting on a table, both with headphones, AirPod 3s, both having a conversation in their own languages and talking to each other. And that was kind of a Star Trek Universal Translator moment, really. The question is, Bobby, I will believe that when I see it. Yep. That's the only thing. My only reservation with that is I want to see it actually working in real life. The one thing you didn't mention was they also have new foam infused air tips with these AirPods, which is slightly different to the
that was the bit I
tips.
missed because I was trying to type.
Yeah. So I wonder if they are more like the flare ones you bought. They're improving the fit and the they're keeping the ears quiet. I'm with you though. I mean, the headphones I'm wearing right now are some very, very old Bose QCs, and if I really want to avoid noise background, the ANC in these is still better than the AirPod Pro 2s. So I'm hoping that the 3s will be better than these, and I will be buying the 3s when my batteries go on the 2s. As simple as that. It's almost like we're renting them, really, isn't it? We just keep getting new ones when we need them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alex,
that's exactly the game.
Yeah, it is.
Alex, any opinions or thoughts on AirPods Pros?
So, I mean, okay. So, can I have a little bit of a rant?
Yes.
I'll get it out of my system, and then that way we can it doesn't carry across every single time. So, the thing is, Apple makes really good hardware and software experiences. Okay, they always have. They're not necessarily the best, but their integration and everything is so good. It's great. It's really good. So I liked Apple for a long time. The problem is that basically it used to work with other stuff, so it didn't matter what you didn't have to make a platform choice. You didn't have to say which walled garden you're in. And I am kind of in a walled garden with Android, but not anywhere near as much as Apple. So all of those cool features that you mentioned, like heart rate, for example, not available on an Android device. It's basically everything is designed for iPhone, and then they just don't bother doing anything else. So if you were to buy the Bluetooths for an Android phone, there'll be very nice hardware, but you'll lose, and the ANC will work. Like it's not going to work. It will work. But you'll lose translation, you'll lose any heart rate things, you'll lose any integrations whatsoever, because Apple don't bother with them. They just don't even bother. And until there's a reason for them, why not? Because it's just like, hey, just come on into the Apple ecosystem. And then there's another reason, because when you develop for Apple apps, you then get a whole new hatred for Apple, but that's not really relevant for our watchers, so I'm going to put that to the side. But the hardware is nice. Like this particular one they're good improvements. I don't know quite why they've focused on making it AirPod Pro 3 rather than, I guess they've only had 3 of the AirPod Pros. But it just kind of feels like aligning the numbers wouldn't hurt. But I know that they're staggering them because you don't have one every single year.
No, that's right.
But it's the form factor is nice. They're really comfortable. They've been done before. The Pixel Buds and Samsung's did this about 2 years ago. There's nothing unique about it. So Pixel Buds is a Google one that's been out for 2 years.
Samsung have also done.
They've done the live translation. They do live translation.
Live translation.
Yeah, they've done that and in fact, having Google do live translation is a good thing. I'm glad that Apple have caught up with that. So that's great. You know, it's not there's nothing wrong with it. And like you said, they've done it a really nice way of doing it. I'm just, as a general rule, I'm just miffed because I can't pick and choose. And that's what's a little bit frustrating about it. Is
Alex, do you
I
think
love
that's
to get the
also
best
down to?
things.
Do you think that's a hardware thing as well, though? Because Apple Silicon, they're making their own chips, which is why everything plays nicely together if you're in the Apple's ecosystem. I, as you know, have dabbled with Android a number
Yeah.
of times, and every time I do that, whilst I do appreciate a lot of things about Android phones and gadgets and things, it's like I might have a Samsung Galaxy, but then I'm trying to use them with Sony WM6s, and then some other type of watch like a Huawei or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's always something that doesn't quite play nicely, and I don't know if that's to do with the fact that you are just literally using different, like that you might have a Snapdragon in the phone and then you might have some other processing thing in there. And I just wonder if
So
it's a case that with Apple, and also the other point I want to make just before you get in on that is it's really funny when you listen to Google and Samsung, etc. They will always either poke fun or make some reference to Apple when they're launching their products and talking about their features. You never ever hear Apple talking about anyone else.
well,
So it's
that's
like
their
Apple
rule, isn't
seems
it?
to live rent free in everybody else's heads, but I just think Apple they're getting on and doing what they need to do. They don't really see anybody else as competition.
So Apple's rule is not to talk about the competition. But don't think that they're not being a nice guy versus other people, because they're not. The reason they don't talk about things is because they literally don't give them a thought. And the thing that you mentioned about compatibility is valid, but that's the reason you have standards, right? So Bluetooth, for example, it's a standard. There's a way that it works, right? Adding this cool stuff like heart rate stuff, that's cool. We could have standards for that, but everyone's basically given up because Apple doesn't care about them, and so consequently no one else cares about them. So what ends up happening is you end up building for an ecosystem. So that example of like it all being a bit chonky and not quite working, right? You're totally valid. And you know what? If Apple did a better job, then we'd all be on our Android phones with our AirPods on or something like that. So it's not that they can't work. It's that they're not taking the time and the effort. They're not putting that in. And at the end of the day, they have the time. There's no limit on making things work. It's just a question of there's no business benefit for them to spend lots of time investing and maybe getting a team that makes Android work just as quickly as it does for iPhones. There's no business benefit for that when they just go, just buy an iPhone, and there's no reason why that isn't allowed. There's no reason why that can't be done. If you said, I don't mind what you make, but if you could make sure that it works on other similar devices, that would be fine. Like, I don't expect the same levels, but at least you'd be like, oh, cool, I really like that heart rate feature. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll have that with my Android phone.
There's also another,
but they don't bother.
Yeah, there's also another much wider conversation here to argue the fact that Apple is just effing brilliant at branding, because that's what this is, coming from my fashion industry background.
Yeah,
it's branding
exactly.
At the end of the day, and they do a bloody good job at it. Also, they don't really need Android users to buy their stuff because they're making enough money anyway. They're one of the richest companies in the world. So
you're right, but so that was I could do a much longer rant. Everyone would switch off even if
no, because I want to get onto I want to get onto the hit or miss or buy or don't buy or whatever.
and then move on to the watch. Like I said, it's they're good devices, but they're not the be all and end all. And Apple is really playing catch up in some cases. But I'm really glad they are catching up, because ultimately, I'd hope that's because some of the competition is starting to push them on it. I can only hope that. There's no evidence, because basically Apple has dominated this sector completely, and so they do what they want to do, and that's it. Interesting. We'll come on to pricing, but interesting about that too, because they're under the thumb on that as well. All right, that's my rant done. Let's carry on.
So, my verdict, John, let me know if you agree. I think if you're on the original AirPods Pro, the AirPods Pro 3 are a buy. And if you're on the AirPods Pro 2, you don't necessarily need to upgrade, but do it if you can afford it and you really, really want those new features. And I'm going to get them.
Yeah, you
just
probably
in case
are.
anyone was wondering.
Of course you are. I'm trying to think when I'd use the live translation, really.
You'll use it a couple of times, and that'll be it.
But I think if I did get them, I'd get them for the better ANC more than anything else, and maybe the nicer fit. Because I mean, they fit me fine, but any more comfortable is good, isn't it? So
yeah,
we're going to move on to the Apple Watch now, I think.
We are. I will run through the features and then let John sort of take over for a bit. So Apple Watch 11, we start there. Screen Iron X with ceramic coating to make it 2 times more scratch resistant. I've had both the Ultra and I've had pretty much every version of the Apple Watch actually, apart from the SE, because I don't buy that cheap rubbish. And they are quite scratchy. The entry level aluminium Apple Watches. So any improvements to make them more scratch resistant is very welcome. They now include Apple's new 5G modem, so that makes so you've got faster connection speeds. If you've got the cellular version of the watch, it makes them more power efficient and uses less battery. The new Watch 11 obviously will run Watch OS 26, so you get all the new watch faces and features and things. The health features, you pretty much get the complete suite of health features on Apple Watch. So heart health, cycle tracking, mental health, and more. There are new features in heart health and sleep. There's a high blood pressure stroke hypertension monitoring thing. Apple made a point of saying that 1.3 billion adults worldwide are affected by hypertension and high blood pressure, and it is known as a silent killer because there are no obvious symptoms before you keel over and die. So
two in 3 of your Tailoring Talk Magazine presenter cast have hypertension as well.
That's right.
Who's that? You two?
Well,
yeah, we both take medication for our blood pressure.
No way. Oh yeah, I know you do. I didn't know Alex did.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Withings. I have a Withings Apple accessory, like a Bluetooth. What they call, Alex? Help me out. The pumps that go around your arms.
Oh yeah, blood pressure monitor.
Blood pressure monitor. So I was told by my doctor to get one. So I thought, of course, I'll get an Apple one. And it syncs with the health app. But I'd be interested to see when I take my readings how they compare with. I think the Apple Watch is just going to give you warnings, like, oh yeah. I mean, I know what's going to happen. I'll be in the middle of a busy day at school, and the class will be winding me up, and I'll get alerts on my watch saying you're going to die, you're going to keel over, or something. You don't get like clear readings or blood pressure readings as such.
No, it's gonna do that. They made a point of, because they've got to be very careful with this, right?
Yeah, it's not being improved yet.
They said it will give you a possible hypertension alert. So the algorithm will look for high blood pressure by reviewing data and comparing data, and when it spots hypertension patterns, it will alert you.
Yeah.
Not all instances, but they expect to diagnose over 1 million people in the first year, and the feature will roll out in 150 regions this month. I think in the USA they're just waiting for FDA clearance, but it will be, in quite a few countries and territories. So
I think what's going to happen is it's going to be more useful for those people who haven't been diagnosed, who suddenly get an alert and go, "What? What's going on?" And then go and see the doctor, and the doctor says, "Yes, actually, get yourself sorted. Take the medication."
But you see, that's the thing, right? Like you guys said, two out of 3 of our TTM hosts have got hypertension, right, and are taking medication for it. The other one might have it and doesn't know.
Just don't know. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, because as soon as I mentioned, because Carolina walked in and was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "I've got to review all the Apple stuff with John and the other one for the podcast," and Android boy, and but I said, "Oh, the Apple Watch, by the way, new feature, hypertension alert, high blood pressure alert." She goes, "That's really useful for you." So she's enabled me. Brilliant upgrade on the way.
Nice.
Sleep. So they
Sleep
said
apnea.
sleep is very, very important. We are built to sleep. We can't live or survive without it. So they said that the metrics that measure good sleep are the quality of your sleep, time of sleep, bedtime consistency, time in REM sleep, and the time that you're awake. And all those factors will go together to create a sleep score to give you the quality of your sleep, and you can kind of track that over time. The battery life is up from 18 hours. 18 hours. When they say all day battery life, they mean 18 hours. That's Apple's
before bed
thing. But you now get 24 hours of battery life with the Watch 11. The colors, again, you get jet black, silver, rose gold, and space gray aluminium. Titanium in three colors: natural, gold, and slate. And then you'll have new bands from Nike, those rip-off, very expensive Hermes bands, which I absolutely love. Given that I'm in, given I'm in fashion, I absolutely freaking love them, and they'll come with matching watch faces as well for your money. But my God, are they expensive?
Oh,
I would
Bobby,
never do it.
that watch face. I don't know if it was on this one or if it was later on. That was like the sort of like a pixelated like cow game pass sort of the blue. That was so cool. And I get a bit annoyed that you can't have access to those watch faces unless you shell out for the strap.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
And there's a new bracelet strap which looks a lot more elegant if you want to give your watch a more sort of dressy look. So, Watch 11, John, would it tempt you to go Watch 11 with the battery improvements and the fact that you're pretty much getting all the features that you'd get on an Ultra anyway?
No, I think
not
the
quite.
problem is, I think this is what Apple's counting on now, is it knows all the what Ultra users are just going to keep buying Ultra. So I think this is very much geared towards the the standard watch users. The reason I went to the Ultra was because I kept scratching or cracking the screens on my normal watches. And the Ultra, I have got nary a scratch on my face after a couple of years use. I love the durability of it. I do a lot of cycling with it and so on. So I don't think I'll ever go back. I like the size and the look of it as well. And I like the shortcut button that I can press straight to a cycle workout and things like that. It's the extra button, it's the look, it's the feel, the chunkiness. I like the way it looks. Having said that, I have two Apple Watches. I have the daytime watch, which is my Ultra, and then at nighttime now, I use my old Series 6, I think it is. It's quite an old one now, just for sleep tracking.
Sleep tracking, yeah.
Because I have them both paired to my Apple Watch app on my phone. And so all the sleep data goes from my night watch into my Vitals app on both watches. So I still get all the information and tracking overnight onto this watch as well in the Vitals app that pops up. So I kind of have the better. I don't need a new Series 11 just to track my sleep. In fact, I've got an old Series 4 knocking about in my drawer somewhere as well. So I've got plenty of old sort of spare watches for night tracking, sleep tracking.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dive into Watch SE very quickly because there's not much to talk about, and then Ultra 3, and then I'm going to bring Alex in to talk about the Android view of watches. So Apple Watch SE, very quick one. If you're on a budget, whatever it's going to cost, I think it's about 250 quid. It's really good value. You get
Alex doesn't believe that is good value, by the way.
Okay. Well, he'll talk about that.
For what it is, it's not bad, but yeah. Sorry, go on.
So, new features on the SE that you didn't get before. You've got the S10 processor, so it's going to be a bit snappier. You're going to get always on display for the very first time, and you're going to get gestures, double tap, and the wrist flick feature.
We don't have that on these, do we? We don't have that on the Ultra one. I don't think we have gestures in it. So it's got some features better than the Ultra one.
Yeah.
On the SE.
You're going to get the heart rate stuff, fall detection, crash detect, which is you get that on the SE anyway, but it also adds wrist temperature sensing for ovulation, cycle tracking, that sort of thing. Sleep apnea and sleep score come to the Apple Watch SE. You'll be able to play media or podcasts through the speaker directly if you haven't got your AirPods and you're out and about. You get 18 hours of battery life. You get fast charging now, which you didn't get before. So 2 times faster charging. 15 minutes gives you 8 hours. And you get two colors, Starlight and Midnight Aluminium. And then the big one, the Ultra 3, which I am definitely upgrading to. The display has been upgraded. So we've now got a new wide angle OLED and LPTO3 display. So what that means is when I'm cycling, often I need to glance at my watch, and very often I can't quite see what's going on, so I have to raise it. You should get much better visibility in all conditions at whatever angle you're looking at the thing at. You're going to get a slightly bigger screen, but the case size is going to be the same. So it's the largest display on an Apple Watch, if that's important to you. It will refresh more frequently in always on, so you can now have watch faces which will show seconds moving, which didn't happen before. And if you like to use the waypoints feature, that will also actually just show you all of that stuff on
They've got a
the
new
actual
waypoint
always
face,
on, so you don't actually
haven't they,
have
as
to
well,
have the
to go with
watch
that?
on. Workout, John, I'm racing through this.
Okay.
You're going to have the workout buddy, which I'm going to turn off because I do
Yeah.
not want someone going, "Hey, way to go! Like you crushed it. Go for another 2 kilometers." Like, shut up. You get the new 5G cellular modem. You're going to get satellite connectivity. So if you are out in the wilderness somewhere and there is no reception whatsoever, you're going to be able to call for help. You're going to be able to send messages and receive messages and share your location with the Find My feature. They've redesigned the antenna and the radio to double signal strength, so you can communicate with satellites 800 miles above the Earth. Larger battery. So currently the Ultra and the Ultra 2 give you about 36 hours of battery life. You're going to go up to 42 hours. Which means you should be able to keep your watch going for, some people should be able to keep it going for a couple of days. People that don't exercise and people that are quite active should at least be able to get through a day and a bit without having to stick it on the charger. 2 colors as before, black and natural titanium. I'm getting the black one.
So am I.
Trail Loop has now been just redesigned, so they're going to have a reflective yarn, which could be handy for people that do a lot of night running and stuff. There's loads of new strap colors and finishes, and you're going to have a 1 hertz always on display, so the refresh rate at 1 hertz. And the other note I made, that it's available September the 19th, which is in 10 days' time.
Wowzers.
Alex.
Hey.
Alex, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question before you go into your opinions? Do any of the Garmin or other kind of exercise non-Apple watches, do they already have 5G connectivity? Was that the first watch to have it?
It's a premium feature, but they do.
They do.
Yeah, it's quite common.
Yeah.
It's not always 5G. Sometimes it's 4G, but they're Samsung have done it for a few years.
Okay.
So yeah, it is quite common. But the thing is,
sorry, I just need to tick off on my Alex
you got a
bingo card.
You got
here.
an Alex bingo card. Oh,
Yeah.
that's not
Samsung have done it for a few years. Yep. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so it's not new. But I'm really glad they do it. Like I think I genuinely think that Apple's watch improvements have gone down really well. Like I just think they move forward things in places that maybe you didn't think was a need, like satellite connectivity, for example. That's something that Apple pushed.
It is,
and everyone else was like, yeah, but does anyone really need that? And then all of a sudden it's cropping up in Android phones. So I do think that's really good. The other thing that's really good is I think a lot of the proactive alerts from the health things, I think they're great. It kind of explains why the battery life is so poor on it, though, because if it's doing all this stuff behind the scenes, then probably that explains why the battery life now is pretty weak. So I'm glad that they put bigger batteries in. That's an obvious.
Can I just interject there about battery life? Like I still don't have any issues with putting my watch on my nightstand at night time, charging it. I've never, obviously I'm using the Ultra, so I'm never without battery now.
Yeah.
Because it lasts long. Mine still lasts longer than a day. But for me, it's never an issue of. Whereas earlier, Apple Watches would run out of battery in the daytime completely.
Yeah.
I've never had that concern. It would be lovely.
It's got better.
Like an old Timex, just to never have to do it.
I've got here. Yeah. So I've got here a Huawei GT4, which is not massive. It's quite a small smartwatch, but it has an OLED display and it has a heart rate monitor, blood pressure sensor, all of the things. It doesn't have cellular connectivity or satellite connectivity. It doesn't have that. It lasts a week, so this is the thing. So it is possible to do it, and so that's the thing. A lot of the Android smartphones, they are more similar to Apple's, and they last like a day and a half and stuff like that. So I do get it, but there are cases where it's better. The SE is an interesting one because basically they really want people to buy Apple Watches instead of Garmin's. And so it's not really for you, Bobby. It's more for someone who's a runner that says, "I want."
But you
I
say
want the
that,
running
right?
stuff.
So I think the battery life thing is because I mean the Apple Watch, like the Samsung Galaxy Watch, etc., is basically a mobile phone on your wrist, right?
Yeah.
So battery is something that we're probably going to have to wait for. I mean, it would be nice if they could put some sort of solar glass like you have with one of the Garmin Phoenixes.
Just use a battery and a but the processor they've got is great.
Yeah.
It's just
But
they
then
just need better batteries.
Yeah, but I said so. Carolina was like, it's really funny actually. Do we really kind of need the watch, or would a fitness tracker do? Because both of us, we don't really use it for taking phone calls and making phone calls. I don't want to be bothered by people on my wrist. It really irritates me when people ring me and I pick it up and I'll go, "I'm really sorry, I can't talk to you right now because it's come through on my watch."
Yeah,
that's really interesting, Bobby. I use my watch way more than my phone for phone calls.
Yeah, I know you do.
Interesting, different uses.
But you've got a specific use case because of the way you work.
So for me, I use it for running and cycle
True.
tracking, and I use it to tell the time, and I use it as an alarm because it taps on my wrist to get up out of bed in the morning, and that is it. I could arguably just easily get a Garmin Phoenix, have 2 weeks worth of battery life, and not worry about it.
SE3.
Yeah, but then that's where what Alex was talking about earlier. That's where Apple then get you, because you're kind of like, well, Apple Music syncing and this and that and so on, and you're kind of and this is the point I was trying to make was then branding wise, you've introduced something odd into your ecosystem.
Yep.
It's like a weed in your garden, and so that's what always kind of stops me from going the Garmin route. I have tried it before, and then unfortunately I came back to an Apple Watch. But there we go.
Isn't there?
But,
there's like a default. It's like, well, I know the Apple Watch is going to work. It's probably a bit expensive for what I use, but it's going to work very nice. It'll have Apple Pay on it, which is good. It'll have nice integration bits. So why not? It totally makes sense. I just wish they were a bit more open. But I'd say the software into stuff they do on it is great, and that's not a problem. What I would say is for someone who does have high blood pressure, so the blood pressure monitoring is indicative. It does, like I've had it on the Samsung one as well as this one. And what they do is they ask you to use your blood pressure monitor, your proper one,
to calibrate
it,
right?
And then you have to do it every 4 weeks or so.
That makes sense.
To keep it on track. And then what it does is it basically just shows you if you're wildly off. But you know what? The fact that most phones, most watches like mine, you have to actively go in and find that and say, right, check my blood pressure and have a prompt for it. The fact that some of this stuff, it will do some bits of it behind the scenes is good. So yeah, I mean, they're good improvements. I just wish they were a bit better.
There's just a couple of things off the Apple Watch Ultra, maybe not the Series 11, and the Pros that are lacking that I thought might be at this keynote, and that was,
all right.
I thought this was going to be the year they'd have a chip powerful enough to have on-device Apple Intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Especially on the Ultra, on the Apple Watch, so you don't have to have an iPhone to use Apple Intelligence. I think probably that's going to be a feature that comes out either next year or the year after, with the next chip. But that's the one thing I thought was omitted.
How often do you run without your phone? Because that's the thing. If you run without your phone, then it makes sense. But
I cycle without my phone.
Okay. Is it not in a bag or in a pouch or something?
No, I don't need to because I have cellular on my watch.
Right, I see.
So I do the work. I actually use workouts on my watch and then import workouts into Strava because I like all the extra data you get when you're cycling with workouts.
Yeah, because I think. Oh, go on.
So I've started running without my phone because it is. I don't have anywhere to put my phone, so I just leave it behind.
Yeah.
And so the one thing I do really love about the Apple Watch is I can have my podcasts and my music, and if I haven't got what I want because I've got cellular, it just streams
Go and
it,
get it. Yeah.
and it connects to my AirPods seamlessly. And you can
That's
tick
nice.
your bingo card now, Alex. And it just it's great. And then if I do get stuck, or if I just need to message Carolina, or whatever, or she needs to get hold of me urgently, obviously she can still do that. So from that, so I think when I start going down the Garmin rabbit hole, that's what pulls me back, because I then think, oh, I'm going for a run tomorrow. If I had the Garmin, I wouldn't be able to. I could do the music, obviously, but phone calls and stuff,
Yeah, it's so well integrated, but it's integrated
very.
because they don't want anyone else to do that. They could, if they wanted to, they could make that something that other devices could use. They just choose not to. But that, sorry, that's I'm getting too technical now. But just be happy with it, and I'm glad you don't use your phone. To be fair, I run around with this brick, and the fact that I did a 5K run with it, just carrying this in my hand, and I was like, I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but it didn't bother me. I just kept running. So yeah, so I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but a lot of people will just take their phones with them. So for them, they get Apple Intelligence from the phone, so it's not so much of a problem.
The other thing I want to just mention about use case very, very quickly, Bobby, is when I'm in London, I'm very reluctant to take my phone out of my pocket at any point. And so it's nice that I can...
snatchers.
Well, yeah, I can use my watch to navigate. I can use to make phone calls to Becca or whatever. I can send messages. I can use City Mapper on my watch. I can tap in and tap out on the underground. I can play music through it. So that's that for me. The sad world that we live in, that I'm just terrified of taking my phone out of my pocket. To be honest, if they nick my 13 Pro, they're welcome to it. They're going to be very disappointed. But when I get the new 17 Pro Max later on, talking about, maybe we should talk about the iPhones actually.
Well, actually, can I interrupt both of you just to say a massive thank you to Rush Mano, because I've just gone on my phone, because we've never done a live stream before, so
we're being watched.
Like complete newbie. But I just want to say thank you, because I think he's just tipped us £5, which is amazing.
That's very kind of him.
Totally unnecessary, but we really do appreciate it, because it helps with hosting costs and that sort of thing. Because we obviously do this in our spare time, outside of our main jobs, and we don't get paid for it. So I really, really appreciate that. And he said good. I think there was a boom. And then he said, Google are just jealous of Apple, so obviously agrees with me. And then he says, good chat, guys, even though I'm an Android Luddite, lol. So I have said thank you, and we would never, ever call you a Luddite.
No.
Some people like Apple, like me and John, and some people prefer Android. Different things work for different people, so yeah, we
I have to say,
make any...
If he's still watching after an hour, he deserves £5, to be honest, but there you go.
Yeah.
But
no, thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Right, on to iPhone. Are we ready? Okay.
Indeed.
iPhone 17, iPhone Air, iPhone Pro. Let's go for it. iPhone 17 first of all. So we have the action button dynamic island carried over from last year. We have got 5 colors. We've got black, white, lavender, mist blue, and sage. I thought the lavender, mist blue, and the sage were actually quite nice.
Yeah.
Even though I'd never actually pay attention to an iPhone 17. But having said that,
good phones.
There is a compelling... There's a compelling argument to say, do people really need a Pro phone when they get everything pretty much on this? Because you've got a 6.3-inch display, which is the sweet spot for most people, with thinner borders. You've got the new ProMotion adaptive 120 hertz display. Shut up, Alex. Which adjusts down to 1 hertz when you're not using it to preserve battery life. Live activities, 3000 nits peak outdoor brightness, so it's going to be visible when it's bright and sunny outside. It's a problem that I've got with my iPhone 15 Pro at the moment. When I'm outside, I can't see the bloody thing. Durability, ceramic shield 2, so 3 times better scratch resistant. I'll believe it when I see it. New bonded coating at atomic level, adding hardness to protect from scratches. 7-layer anti-reflective coating, reducing glare and reflections indoor and outdoors. Now, if this works anything like the nano texture display that I have on
gonna
my
say,
MacBook
Bobby,
Pro
I was really
and my
upset.
iPad Pro. Yes,
I was really
John.
upset they didn't bring in matte displays for the phones like your iPad Pro.
Oh,
I was
they
looking forward
love
to
that, right?
that being an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But from the iPad videos that I've done,
Yeah,
if you go in and read the comments, John, I know you guys always tell me not to, but there are some people that are really dead against it because of that matte sort of look.
yeah.
Now that I've been using my MacBook Pro with nano texture and the iPad Pro now for the best part of a year, I don't even notice it. But what I do notice is that I can go outside on a sunny day, full sun, and I can just work. These screens
Yeah.
are absolutely amazing. So for anything like that to come to the phone is absolutely awesome, especially for me because I'm doing a lot of video outdoors now with the car stuff that I do for the channel.
Yeah.
And I want to start doing more for the business outdoors as well. So I'm really interested in that now that they've, spoiler alert, brought it to all phones. The chip is the A19, which is built on a 3 nanometer architecture, updated display engine to power ProMotion and always on, new neural engine for AI. This is all Apple gobbledygook to make you think it's even better than it probably is.
Yeah, a lot of
Alex
numbers.
is nodding,
Lots
so
of
he's
numbers.
very proud of me right now. Increased memory bandwidth, running LLMs, etc. faster. LLMs are large language models, so when you're using AI like ChatGPT and Perplexity and stuff like that, it will help with all that rubbish. 6-core CPU, which has 4 performance cores and 2 efficiency cores. It just means everything's going to run buttery smooth. 5-core GPU, 2 times faster than iPhone 13. So here's the thing. If you're still on iPhone 13, now's the time to upgrade, in my opinion. 20% faster than iPhone 16, so probably you're not going to notice it for what you do every day. Apple Intelligence, Visual Intelligence, Live Translation. Live Translation we just talked about with the AirPods. Visual Intelligence is where you point your camera at something. You click the button and it will tell you all about it. Something that Meta's doing on their AI glasses and something that Android phones have been doing probably for about 4 years now.
Do you use any of that
use
nonsense?
it? I do.
Yeah. You do? Yeah. Is it on the iPad as well, or just on the iPhone, Visual Intelligence?
I don't know. I've never tried it on the iPad because I don't use my camera on the iPad because people who hold their iPads up and use the camera look like dicks.
That's the right answer, Bobby.
Yeah, but for people who are still rocking
Android and Apple
13,
people can find areas to coalesce
a unity.
Friends in.
I'm not very familiar with Apple Intelligence because I don't have it on my phone. And I very rarely use it, apart from maybe rubbing out details on photographs that are in the way. You know, you can circle the picture and remove them. It's quite cool. So I don't really know what I'm missing. But would you find if you didn't have Apple Intelligence on your phone, you miss it?
No, because I would use what I was using before, which is one of Google's apps.
Yeah.
It's just all in one place now. But you're right.
Well, it's integrated.
Yeah, it's like what's that plant? Oh, well, I'll just take a picture and just do that. Or
I use Google Reverse Image Search for that.
Well, this is the thing. There are always other options. Apple's just bringing them into the fold. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good bit of kit.
Yeah,
but I think the tough bit for Apple, and I think it's because Apple Intelligence just got off to such a shit start, was that they did such a bad job of it that those of us that were really looking forward to it basically then just thought, do you know what? I've got, like, my home screen has the Gemini icon, it's got ChatGPT and it's got Copilot, right? So I just kind of flip between them depending on what I need them to do. GPT-5 is so good now.
It's really good.
And I think that's the problem for Apple, that people are never going to really, I don't think I would ever use Apple Intelligence exclusively, even if it did everything, because their lag has caused users like me to get used to and now rely upon things like GPT, etc. So
it's their own fault.
Alex is nodding. Yeah, exactly. It is their own fault.
We all agree with you. I use,
Yeah. Sorry, to continue features.
All
day battery life. You get an extra 8 hours of video playback compared to the iPhone 16. Fast charging, you can hit 50% battery in just 20 minutes.
That's fast wire charging because they don't have MagSafe on these phones, remember?
No, they don't have MagSafe, by the way.
Yeah.
But they do have USB-C.
Do they? Hold on.
So
is it just the 16?
It's USB? No, it's USB-C. across the
I'll have
board.
to check that now.
Yeah, you can see
I'm
throughout.
going to fact check that.
10 minutes of charge equals 8 hours of video playback in layperson terms. Cameras. The main camera is a 48 megapixel camera. Resolution defaulted to 24 megapixels for photos. 12 megapixel telephoto lens with 2 times optical zoom. Fusion ultra wide cam. And then there's some other gobbledygook, but the file sizes are smaller now, so that means you can take and store more photos on your phone. The front camera, they gave an interesting stat that 500 billion selfies were taken with iPhones last year. 500 billion. That is just mental. Center stage. The front camera now has center stage. Alex, you know what center stage is?
Well, it just focuses them in the middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It just keeps shifting the sense. Yeah.
Okay. My webcam's done that for years. I mean, I don't know whether that's a new thing.
It's a new thing for the iPhone, but it has been on the MacBook Pro for a couple of years, and it's been on the iPad Pro since they introduced the M1 processor.
Cool. Oh, well, good for them.
The iPhone 17 does have MagSafe.
Well done.
Bobby.
There's a larger sensor on the camera. It's twice the size now, and it is square for the first time. So camera sensors are normally in a 4:3 ratio. The new sensor allows for high resolution photography in any orientation, and you do not need to rotate your phone for landscape, or you don't need to tap to change the orientation. The center stage AI rotates and expands the field of view, does it all for you. So no more trying to take a selfie, going like that, etc.
Yeah.
Well, they said in the video, didn't they? It's so that you hold the camera more securely. The 17 does have MagSafe. It's just the 16E that doesn't, by the way.
Okay, there we go.
You've got MagSafe cases for it, so you do.
Cool. Video is ultra stabilized, the same tech as action mode on the rear cams. Still talking about the front cam, by the way.
Yeah.
Center stage is optimized for handheld video, keeping you centered in the frame. So if you're moving around a lot, so you might be at a birthday party or something, trying to get family members
or walking away from a cinema after watching a film.
Okay.
Yep.
It will keep you locked in frame. Storage starts at 256 gig, up from previous years where it was 128. Just about bloody time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about the 17 because that's not really what anyone's here for. So then they went into the iPhone. But
there's nothing. I love the colours. They're really
good phone. 17.
I'd have the green personally.
Yeah, sage green matches my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, if honestly, right, with the display and with all the improvements, if I didn't do what I do with this stuff and so the YouTube channel and what I do for a living, day job, anyone watching, I'm a bespoke tailor, haha. I probably would seriously consider just a regular iPhone now because it's got such an amazing display, battery life's decent, the camera's great, and obviously if you need to really zoom in on something, the best zoom lens you have is your feet. Just get closer to it. It's a really compelling phone.
It's half the price as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat agrees.
Yeah, so even Jesse agrees. You can't have one.
Yeah.
Can you get your asshole out of a camera?
Wasn't going to say, but you know, it was like a question mark was walking past, mate. I'm surprised, Bobby, before you do your segue, I'm surprised that the next phone was not saved for one more thing.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean?
I thought they would finive with this.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. But
put it in,
I think the trouble was
weird time.
It was so obviously coming out that they didn't want it would have been a bit kind of almost disingenuous to do it by then. I think they figured out the rumors are too strong now. I don't know.
They also wanted to. The thing is, they wanted to sit it
in the right stage
between iPhone 17, then the Air, then the Pro. So that way they don't cannibalize the Pro sales. And so they were really focused on doing that.
They're also really focused on showing that the iPhone Air is not an iPhone Lite. because I think
Sorry, did I miss you guys have already jumped to the iPhone Air?
We've jumped.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we're just segueing.
We were waiting, but you took.
We're waiting for you.
So
But
I
we've
know,
got
but
some
I'm
opinions.
fielding comments from people, and I've now got people texting me, like, for recommendations and things, and I'm trying to tell them, join us on our live stream, because no one's here.
Here's where the info is.
Okay, iPhone Air. So the first thing they said when they did the fancy video, piece of the future, thin and light, disappears in the hand. Those were the objectives that they had for the phone. The phone is made from grade 5 aero grade whatever, titanium frame, polished to a mirror finish. It has ceramic shield on the frame on all sides. So that answered my first question, is what if I drop it on the edge? Because I've dropped my iPhone 16 and just had it replaced thanks to Apple Care Plus. Because I dropped it, the back cracked and the titanium edge bent as well. Right. So anyway, ceramic shield on the frame all around. It's got a new camera cutout, which packs all the components into it, the processor, the camera lenses, etc. And that leaves more room for what they call a high density battery. It is the thinnest iPhone ever made, with the power of Pro inside at 5.6 millimeters thick. One of you, can you look up the thickness of the M4 iPad Pro?
I was just doing that. Read your mind.
And tell me if this is thinner than that, or if the iPad Pro is still the thinnest, because I know that was 5 point something.
I think it's not quite as thin as that.
So, it's basically the same sort of width as my phone, maybe a little bit more.
How wide is your phone?
It's 5.1 millimeters. The iPad Pro.
No way! Oh my god! I mean, honestly, because you've got the M4 iPad as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, isn't it magic? Every time you hold it, don't you just think, "Oh my god"?
Well, hold on. I found this under my bed the other day, Bobby. If you're on the live stream, all right? I found this on my bed the other day.
Is that the original?
The original iPad, right? Okay.
Does it still work?
Which was what, 7.9? No, I got it turned on. I got it charged and working. I've still got one of the old 20 pin plugs. But I can't remember the unlock codes. I can't unlock it. You do it too many times and it goes like, have to wait 60 minutes. So I've still got it because all my stuff gets handed down to my family and they look after it. But I'm just feeling the weight of the M4 iPad. Yeah,
the original's a chonker, right?
Oh, well, yeah. So the M4 iPad Pro 13-inch is lighter than the original 7.9-inch iPad, and it's because of what they're packing in the technology inside. You can see just vaguely on the camera there the difference in depth.
Yeah. Anyway, this was not an iPad announcement. I just asked a really simple.
No, sorry, yeah, but
so
this is still.
Yeah, how wide is your phone then, Android boy?
So to give you a thought, and this is very good. So mine is 4.7 mil deep, apart from the camera bump. So mine's still thinner. The
right,
thing
hang
is,
on, but
you can do that.
Do you walk around with it open like that all the time?
No, of course not.
No, so close it. And how thick is it now?
So it's now like 9.
Get your ruler out, Alex.
There you go. Look, don't talk to me, okay? Yeah,
but that's almost 9 millimeters.
Motorola Razrs did this years ago.
Okay, but Alex, they said they didn't say it was the thinnest phone ever. They said it's the thinnest iPhone ever.
So I have an issue with this.
Capiche?
But my issue with this is the battery life is going to be awful, because they said high capacity battery. It's not a silicon carbon battery. So
no, it's going to be about 18 hours again.
Yeah, it'll be all day.
They said all day battery life is. They didn't give any numbers. They said
which means 18 hours probably. It's 18 hours, isn't it?
Exactly.
They used the phrase earlier on.
Well, they did give
all day battery, 18 hours.
Right. We'll get on to that. We will get onto this. Okay.
Go on. All right then.
Okay, so thickness. Right, 6.5-inch display. So right in between the two Pro display sizes. A little bit bigger than the Pro, a little bit smaller than the Pro Max, with 120 Hz ProMotion, 3000 nits, ceramic shield, 2 front and back, 4 times more resistant to cracks, protects the camera bump. John, can you remember what they called the camera bump? Because they don't call it a bump.
Plateau, isn't
They
it?
call it a plateau.
Plateau.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Titanium frame for bend strength to shut up all of the pre-bend gators that are going to no doubt start trying to bend the damn phone. More durable than any previous iPhone. 4 colors: space black, cloud white, light gold, and sky blue. I thought the colors were a bit kind of, but then it is an Air phone, so what do you want? A19 Pro chip, 6-core CPU, 2 performance, fastest CPU in any smartphone, 4 efficiency cores. I just paused there just to see if Alex was going to flinch. He's either buffering or he's just given up.
No, I'm not interested.
The GPU's been bumped up, 5-core, 2nd-gen dynamic caching. Look, your games are going to run buttery smooth on this thing.
Hurrah! I never play games on my phone.
Good.
Bobby, just to pause. I've gone to the updated Apple website, and you just help me out here, because do they use the hours of video playback as their benchmark for how long it lasts?
No, they didn't.
So the iPhone Air apparently has up to 27 hours video playback.
Yeah, that's a bit shit.
Not 18. And as compared to the iPhone 17, which is 30 hours of video playback. I mean, that's quite incredible, isn't it?
For such a thin device, it is, for sure. Yeah, take nothing away from it.
It's not got MagSafe though, has it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Run through features. Has it got MagSafe?
No. It's too thin.
Oh, unusual. Oh yeah, because where would they put the anyway?
Yeah.
So they say you've now got MacBook Pro processing levels in a thin iPhone, which is crazy. Wireless connectivity, they're using this new N1 chip, which is an Apple chip enabling wireless and networking. So it's got Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and something else.
Wi-Fi 7 is good. That's really good for streaming.
Yeah. They're using
really
the C1 Apple modem, which is now the C1X, so it's twice as fast as last year's C1 Apple modem. Faster than the 16 Pro's modem, and it's more power efficient. They say it's the most power efficient iPhone ever. The camera, it looks like a single camera, but it's actually a 48 megapixel fusion cam system with a 2x telephoto 2x telephoto lens in there as well. The photos they showed look great, but then they always do, because we don't know what sort of dark magic nonsense they're doing in there. It's got a larger sensor and aperture for low light performance. You can do 4K videos, next gen portrait mode with focus control. There's a new bright photographic style. It's got custom 28 and 35mm lenses, the same front center stage camera as the 17 has. And then it's got the new feature that John mentioned at the top, which combines the front and rear camera, Alex, for dual capture video. So for example, if I was at football, I could have it on selfie cam, like on a phone call to you, for example, or just filming myself. But then the rear camera will be filming the action out there.
Yeah.
And you can still zoom on the main lens whilst your selfie's looking at you.
Yeah.
And that's to do with the better processor in it as well, I think.
Yeah. Which I think for content creators is going to be quite interesting, that feature.
Is that feature available on the Pros, though?
Yes.
I think it will be.
It will be, yeah. Yeah, if it's not, then it's really stupid.
I can't imagine why they would not have it on there. There's no reason for it.
No.
Action mode, audio mix, 4K Dolby Vision. It uses eSIM worldwide.
Yeah.
And they had to do that to make space for the battery. They had to do it.
Yeah, fine.
And then
that's no biggie.
By shoving all of the technology into the camera bump, they've managed to maximize the battery space as much as possible.
It does have
adaptive
MagSafe
power mode, so it learns your usage patterns, and they quote all-day battery life. So I reckon you'll leave home at 7 in the morning. By about 2-3 o'clock, you're going to be looking for a charger somewhere.
So Bobby, I'm looking at my notes.
MagSafe.
It does say a low-profile MagSafe battery. Because for me, if you're buying this phone with all the extra features, not having MagSafe is a deal breaker, isn't it?
Yeah. So it does have MagSafe.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what I was about to come on to. So accessories ecosystem. There is a new battery, MagSafe battery pack that you will be able to buy when you buy this phone, which will probably make it as expensive as a Pro. which will give you 40 hours of video playback. But to get that decent amount of battery life, you need to slap the MagSafe battery pack to the back of it. There's trade-offs. It's going to have 2 custom cases, a translucent one with a 1mm back panel, or you'll have a lightweight bumper case, which frames the Air, and that comes in the same matching colours. Does that remind you of anything from the past?
iPhone
Yeah, the
4.
bumper case was given away by Steve Jobs after a antenna gate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was his solution. Take your hands away from the antenna.
This one's really interesting, and this is, some people are starting to do this more and more. In Madrid, a lot of people do this. It's like a normal thing. There's going to be a crossbody strap, thin magnets which will hold the straps together with the phone, and then you can just stick the thing over your neck.
I really wish more mums and dads at my school during our assemblies had this, because I would say every 15 seconds there's the slap bang of people dropping their phones onto a gym floor during assemblies.
Yeah.
It's a minor thing, but it's really annoying. Bouncing them off their costas they brought in with them. Bless them.
So, Pro performance in a thin and light design, the lightest and thinnest iPhone ever, packing quite a lot of power. For someone like me, it's a no, because I will always favour battery life over anything else. But let's see what Alex... No, actually, before Alex goes off on one, John, what do you think? Are you tempted by the iPhone Air?
I was tempted.
Still got a hard on for Cosmic Orange?
I have, but wait. So I was tempted because actually it's not really a compromise. You've got a lot of the Pro features with this. The only thing that really put me off was one camera. And I know it's a Fusion camera.
But it's not. It looks like one camera, but it's got two.
Well, you know, but it's not a Pro camera system. And
that's right.
I think a lot of people who buy the Pro cameras aren't Pro users, but they get it for the good cameras.
They want
and a slightly better processing power of the cameras as well. But would I use this phone without a case? Because you're going to buy this. You know, I might use the bumper case, but even then, you kind of want to show this phone off for what it is, don't you? I love the fact they've made the edges silver, so it reflects off the environment, makes it look even more invisible, transparent. That's quite a clever thing to do, isn't it, really? But it's kind of like 1.5 Pro, isn't it? It's not fully Pro, really. Oh, sorry, or 0.75 Pro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, I am probably going to get one, but I'm going to get one for Carolina, because
I was going to say, who's going to use these sort of phones? What sort of person would get this rather than the 17 or the Pro? What demographics
Carolina,
going to get
perfect use case, right? She shouldn't be on a Pro phone. Like, she just shouldn't be on a Pro phone. She doesn't use the features, right? And she doesn't know how to take photos and videos. She's useless. So, and don't worry, she's still only on like episode 35. So we've still got 200 episodes before she catches up. Okay. But she should not be on a Pro phone. And see, what happened was I had her on a regular iPhone up until the 16. And then she noticed that my phone had 3 camera lenses on the back and hers only had 2. And then she had a go at me. And so I had to move her to a bloody Pro. But the Air is perfect because she has been moaning about the weight of the Pro, especially when it's in a case with the strap stuff. So I think the Air will be perfect because I can tell her that she's getting Pro performance.
I think. Did she watch the keynote with you?
No, she walked into the room, she looked, realised what was going on, rolled her eyes, and she just walked straight back out.
So did my wife. Did the same thing. I think you should tell her that that's the iPhone Pro.
As they should.
No, I've already told her it's the iPhone Air.
Oh, okay.
But I think for people for who there's going to be 2 types of people that buy this. It's going to be people who just want the thing that is completely different to anything that Apple's done before.
Show it off,
right? And then the other people are going to be, do you know what? Thin, light, more portable, just easier to deal with. It will appeal to those people as well. And that's
I think
about it.
There's going to be a big female proportion here because of the way, like, ladies' outfits.
It's very elegant.
The pockets.
It's a sexy.
Well, yes, but the pockets are lighter,
thing.
thin. They can't support heavy things. I think this is going to be really quite a fashion accessory. This phone as well.
Alex.
you ready?
Yes.
So, the number of cameras, you still may not win that battle, Bobby, because you might be like, oh, it's got 2 cameras in one, and you'll be like, yeah, but you've got 3. So
No, you haven't got 3. You've got 6.
6, right? Well, be prepared for
We'll come back to that.
'cause that's
We'll come back to
going to
that.
be okay.
No, but I'll just tell her that this is a technological breakthrough, because although you've only got the one lens, you've actually got 3 cameras buried behind it,
Right.
and they just kind of switch in and out like some sci-fi
All right, you
shit.
tell her that. See if she buys
Like
it.
those old CD changes you used to get in your cars.
little rotation.
Yeah, like the CD changes, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you remember the old Iowa ones where they top loaded the hi-fi system, the stereos?
They're like a little sort of beer caddy, weren't they?
Yeah, you had the C3 top, and then it would the trade came out, and you put 3 CDs in, and it went back in, and then Anyway, those were the days.
So
Alex,
I think the thing for me is I think personally it's like the Air is such a temporary product, right? It's only there to lead into the foldable.
Yeah, the foldable. Yeah.
Because what they've done is they've made you a really thin phone, and then they've only done half the job. There's nothing stopping them from putting a folding bit in that, and then they've got a flip. And the thing is that if you're thinking about this from this would be more convenient. Women have small pockets. A thin phone is. I'm not stereotyping. I'm just trying to.
By the way,
synthetic.
women, unless they have their clothes made by me, they very rarely have pockets in things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
do you know the historical reason for that?
Easier for
boring
templates,
one,
isn't it? Something?
No, it's because back in the old days, men didn't want women hiding money or being independent, so they instructed the clothes makers to take the pockets out of everything. That's why.
And it stuck.
That's very poor.
And it stuck to this day.
Yeah, it's
that's bad,
a
isn't
really
it?
weird one,
That's
isn't
bad. That is really bad.
Yeah.
But I think
by the way, the
thing for me-
trade-in values are pretty good this year, but we'll talk about that at the end. Sorry, Alex, carry on.
Yeah, so there's one thing is if you want something that they're gonna like, genuinely, I would look at a flip, because the thing is, what will make a huge difference, and it doesn't have to be. There's Moto flips, there's a Samsung flip. Honor are bringing one out in the next 6 months. It's currently in China at the moment, and they are basically iPhone Pro specs. But I mean, we'll give Apple a pass and say they've tried because it's pretty close. But with a fold. So the thing is, that's what that and physically they will be looking at this, and they'll be looking at the shorter one that folds out, and they'll go, I'll have that foldable, please. Because they'll go, that's so much more convenient for me, and look, I can just flip it closed, and they will genuinely, like, that's what.
Sorry, Alex, are you saying that Apple are going to favour the candy bar format flipping down over?
Yes.
No, I disagree with you completely.
I think they will.
I think Apple are going to look. Apple have already designed their software to be suitable on a large device to a smaller. I think Apple are going to design a phone that becomes an iPad mini, like yours.
So yeah,
I think that's the format they're going to go for.
This isn't hard for Apple to do, right? The only reason they're not doing it is because they have a similar sized device that doesn't fold. It's called an iPad mini, and they sell loads of them, and a lot of people use them for that as their second device.
But surely,
it kind of
Alex,
works okay.
They've got
the flip is a unique.
I disagree with you.
Thing because
I don't think they're going to do a flip.
Changes the form factor.
I think because they have an iPad-sized product, it's much easier for them to turn it into an iPad with working out like an iPad. I think they're going to go the other way. So let's bookmark this conversation.
All right.
And see 4 or 5 years' time who is correct. And if I'm wrong, I will eat 10 double-deckers live on this channel in one go without throwing up. In fact, I'm going to eat enough double-deckers that can cover an entire iPad screen size, that makes more sense because it's the size of the device. All right. If they make it a flip phone rather than an iPad size fold out.
Oh,
all right.
I was going to bet more than that. I was going to bet.
No, I think that's all.
That I'd have to go and buy an Apple iPhone and use it for.
Yeah, if you lose, you
something.
have to go and buy an Apple iPhone.
But yeah,
Right.
so I don't know if I think I might crack at that point. But yeah, so genuinely, it's like they've done half the job, and so you will see the Air for I would say no more than 2 or 3 years.
It's like the iPhone 10.
It will go the way of the
Yeah,
Mini,
okay.
where it just disappeared.
I don't think you're wrong in that respect.
Because
the Mini was about
is,
2 or 3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, Samsung have done something very, very similar, and the reason that people aren't buying it is you literally just look for Samsung and there's like a thin phone. I can't remember what it's called, but you look for it and you go, okay, it does the same thing, but most people aren't buying it because of the camera, and so it'll live and die by the camera. And that's the bit that I'm kind of like, I hope that it's as good, but literally it's taken 4 revisions of this to get to a point where the camera is now the same quality as the Pro, like the top spec. But even this is pretty good. But like people in the meantime, people have gone, well, it is nice, but just be aware that the photos don't quite compare, and it's taken them that long. So I just cannot see how they can say it's going to be as good. I just don't see it will be.
I think it's going to sell like freaking hotcakes, right, on launch day. I don't think you'll be able to get them for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, but
right?
that's not a measure of success. It just means that people are idiots. They'll buy anything with an Apple logo.
I love it.
It's not just people buy Range Rovers. It doesn't make Range Rover good. It just means that people buy them.
As I was saying, they'll sell like hotcakes, and I think where this will live or die by people when they actually start using it. I don't know how many people actually use the zoom feature on their phones. I don't think people are going to have a problem with the quality of the pictures on this thing because they've done everything right. They've upgraded the sensor, made it a lot larger, the aperture's bigger, etc., etc. So the camera performance on this phone should be absolutely brilliant.
It's got to be better than 16 Pro.
I think it's where people are like, I can't zoom in on things. I think that's where people next year then might get rid of it and go back to a Pro.
They won't
because
John,
I think John said it at the top of the conversation
the
somewhere that you look around London, right? Most people are walking. I very rarely see someone with just a regular iPhone with the 2 camera lenses. Everyone's walking around, and I'll bring the Android lot into this as well. Most Galaxy users, I see the Galaxy phones that have got the 5 camera lenses on the back more than I do the one that's only got 3. So
people want the best. People want the best
exactly.
gadget.
So Samsung and Honor.
Well, we're idiots too.
They're all idiots.
But literally, that's like the Flip 7, for example. Yeah. It's £1,000. You can even get like a cheaper one, but I wouldn't. And it's £1,000, and it's slightly thicker in terms of its form factor. But
see there, you can get the Flip 7, and it's £1,000. It's £1,000.
But that's
Sorry,
what.
carry on,
but
Alex.
that's what
the mid-range iPhone price, isn't it?
That's the thing. And don't forget that the Air Pro, the Pro is like 1,100, and that's at 256, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, I was
just
on the
be
website
aware
just
of
now.
that. So it's a lovely phone. I hope they do well, but I genuinely think if you're buying it, it's got a 2-year shelf life, which is a real shame. I shouldn't.
But Alex, some Apple users,
I'll tell you the other people
every year. Don't they?
I'll tell you the other people that will think about it, though. I'll tell you the other people that will think about it. People who want a 1 terabyte phone and don't want to spend 1,600 quid.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could save £200 going for the 1 terabyte version of this, spend whatever it's going to be, 50 quid or whatever on the battery pack, and hey presto, off you go. It'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. If it does go the way of the Mini, I had a Mini, and I got rid of it because the battery life sucked.
Yeah.
I was fed up with the thing
Good
just
size, though,
dying
for
by about 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
My one reservation, Bobby, with the iPhone Air is holding it when it's that thin. Because I remember a couple, was it the iPhone 6, the rounded edge ones when they were quite thin? They're like, so, and I wonder if the Air will be a bit of a pain to hold on its own. And I wonder if the bump will help people. But I think on its own, it might be not the most ergonomically designed phone to hold in your hand. That's the only thing I can think of. Having said that,
actually
though,
be easier because it's
these
that much
days,
thinner.
Bobby, these days, when I see young people walking around with their phones, most of the time, this is how they're making phone calls. For those people listening on audio only, I'm holding my phone up out in front of my face, flat forwards, as if it's my tongue.
It's funny, isn't it?
Oh god,
I see so many people holding them like that. And if it's the iPhone Air, then it's the perfect design to hold it out like that.
It also means if I'm riding past snatching your phone out of your hand, I can snatch
Really easy.
more of them.
Oh god, yeah, it's easy. It's
because they're so light.
Do you know what? I will take phone calls like that.
Alex has got his fold opened up. It's like he's holding a pizza in front of his face at the moment.
Yeah, it is like that, isn't it?
And that's the other thing as well. Like when they step out into the road and almost get run over by you, they then sort of give you side eye, like, and then their phone tilts even more.
Am I bothered?
What?
I think we should move on to the Tango phone.
Oh man!
I think we should do it.
Yes, let's do it.
It's totally cosmic, baby.
God,
where are my notes? Okay, here we go. So, an entirely new level of performance and capability rebuilt from inside out.
That's brilliant.
Performance, durability, capability. These were the aims of the Apple design team with the new 17 Pro and Pro Max.
She sounded like a female Johnny Ives, didn't she? Didn't you notice that?
Yeah.
It sounded like a female Johnny. It was weird.
It was Johnny Ives in a female bodysuit.
Because she's British. That's why. She's the only British person on the show.
Solid aluminium, precision machined. What do you call it? It's
unibody.
The first iPhone unibody. So we don't have a separate. I'll just hold up my 15 Pro here. So we don't have the frame and then a glass back.
I fixed it going for a field day with this.
We've now got an aluminium, basically all of this bit, and then the screen on it.
You have to take the screen off for anything. I mean, you have to do it anyway. But it's just. I mean, it's a lovely phone. It looks nice.
It was the one thing in this keynote that actually made me go, "Wow, that's cool!" Like properly dribble cool. You know.
I will say it needs to go on a bit of a diet though. It's going.
Oh, I like the size of it.
The ultra weight, not the width. It's quite. You know, when you look at how thick and with a double C that is, its charm is sort of waning a bit. But it is a nice phone.
Give us the full specs, Bobby. Come on, give us this beast full specs.
I will, John, just for you.
I'm getting goosebumps, mate, already. Can you do it ASMR style, please, with a dab of M&S advert? Go on, and a touch of the Tim Cook accent you did earlier on.
An oxide-coated outer layer. It's the first iPhone unibody, John. Light, thermally efficient, and rigid.
Give it to me, baby.
It has a vapor chamber, which contains deionized water sealed inside, laser welded in, which moves heat away from the components to allow for higher sustained performance. Aerospace grade aluminium, 20 times more efficient than titanium, pissing off the Samsung design team because they just put all their efforts in the last few years to moving their phones to titanium. It has the biggest battery of any iPhone ever, full width camera bump, or what do they call it? Plateau. New Pro camera system, A19 Pro processor, new thermal system dissipates heat all the way through the unibody, ceramic shield 2 on the front and back, 3 colors, silver, freaking boring, no one's buying that, deep blue, some people will buy that, cosmic orange, you will not be able to get them until Christmas. I guarantee.
Yeah.
I'm saying it now.
They're going to be gone.
Exactly, they will be gone.
Which is why I'm quite happy to wait.
The forged plateau dissipates heat, gives more space for the components, so they can put more of the components into the bump like they've done with the Air, and that leaves room for a bigger battery. Larger cache, more memory, rumoured to be 12 gig of RAM, but we'll find out after the phone's released and people start tearing them down. 40%. Now, this is the one thing that does irritate me. When I buy a Samsung phone, which I never will do again, but when I have bought them in the past, I know how much RAM I'm getting. Why is it such a big deal for Apple to not tell us how much RAM we're getting in the phone? Not that it matters to many users, but still.
It doesn't matter as much for an
stupid.
iPhone. But they should just be honest about the specs. It's the same thing with the battery. It's like, brilliant, well done, you've got a bigger battery. It's nowhere near what the Androids are, but good for you, well done. But like the RAM is probably less of a factor because iPhones they run on lower RAM anyway. But yeah, you're right. Just be honest with the specs and just tell us. That's why I actually think
if they're on the site.
Don't tell me that every single core has got its own neural engine in it or whatever, right? Like that doesn't mean anything to me. But if you tell me it's got 12 gig of RAM and a 5800 milliamp hour battery, then
exactly.
It's like, okay,
so
cool.
The spec 48 megapixel camera, can shoot RAW, but like excellent. I'm all about that. I've got no problem with it. But just be honest about things like your battery's not that big. It'll probably be in the region of 3,000 milliamps hours, but then everywhere else is going up to like 5. So fine, but just be clear about it. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
John, this was the bit to answer your question from earlier. What got me on the 17 Pro? 40% better sustained performance than the 16 Pro.
Wow, yeah.
Which is nuts, especially when you're doing edits and stuff on your phone and that sort of thing. It's no longer
vapor
a glass...
chamber will help with that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
no
it's
longer
there
a
for.
glass back, thank God, because God knows how many times I've cracked mine. Because you've got this aluminium unibody thing. Ceramic shield back instead, which is 4 times more resistant to cracks than the glass was. Ceramic shield 2 at the front, which will give 3 times better scratch resistance. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. And it will have the anti-reflective coating. They say it's the best battery life ever. eSIM models have a bigger battery, adding...
That's what I was going to ask you. So is there they're saying that there's a non-eSIM model and an eSIM model. If you buy the non-eSIM
in America,
model,
everything's
you'll lose 2 hours.
eSIM.
Yeah.
I
over
don't
here...
think the global version will be eSIM. I think, well, it will, but it will also have
You've got a choice.
card. Yeah,
over
it'll be the global version.
No, the UK version will have eSIM and a physical SIM slot.
But what I'm saying is that means if you get the physical eSIM slot, you'll get 2 hours less battery life.
Yeah.
So won't everybody decide to go to eSIM, and there'll be a whole bunch of useless pros that people won't buy.
Yeah, but I don't think you have a choice to have an eSIM only model over here.
Yeah,
It depends which contract you're with, isn't it?
You won't have a
It's the
choice. It's the same as the last version, John, the 16 Pro.
Yeah.
In America and elsewhere is eSIM only. Over here and Europe, it's SIM cards. And you can have an eSIM. So the good thing for someone like me is I could have one
SIM,
phone. I could put
dual
SIM. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll be able to use. You'll still be able to use the eSIM. It's just
what I'm saying is
tray as well.
we cannot buy an eSIM only model over here.
No.
Well, that's
it's
not
the
much
same
fun.
as Samsung had the same thing. They did it for years, where they used to put in the US. They used to use Qualcomm modems.
Right.
That was the bands they needed to have, and then everywhere else they had their own Exynos chipset, and so it was like, but the Exynos wasn't as performant as the
I'm
thing,
annoyed
so
now.
that was the reason for it. It was quite annoying, but you have no choice. You just have the version that they give you.
It's like a region. It's like you remember when gaming consoles back in the day, NTSC and PAL and all that.
Consoles,
So 37 hours total. But John, if you're worried about your battery life, you can buy the MagSafe battery pack for the Air and slap it on the back of your Pro.
Can you? Will it
I'm gonna
I
do
presume
that.
it'll work, yeah.
I'm
going to do that.
because it's all Qi too. So
How many millimeters are going to be in your pocket?
A lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Space.
going to with the okay. Pro cam system, front 18 megapixels. So it's got the same 18 megapixel center stage cam as all the other phones, right?
Yep.
The rear cameras, all three are 48 megapixel for the first time. All three are fusion cams. There's more detail at every single zoom range and light level with the bigger sensor. 8 times optical zoom, up from 5 that we had last year. Tetraprism telephoto, 56% larger sensor than the previous gen. You have 8 times zoom, 200 mil, and 4 times 100 mil. So those two lenses, combined with the others, give you the equivalent of 8 professional lenses in your pocket. Digital zoom up to 40 times for photos. I never use digital zoom unless I want to spy on someone. And then they say machine learning integrated into each part of the image pipeline, more noise reduction, which gives more noise reduction and improved color accuracy. They did make a point at this stage of saying that the event was filmed with the 17 Pro. And then other things, which is more for video creators and things and people that are doing really high-end kind of movie making, that sort of thing. But we get ProRes RAW capture support for the first time. So every single bit of data in the images that you capture will be captured. Genlock support for precise video syncing, which is great for content creators and for streamers.
When I saw this,
time splicing from bullet time.
Yeah, that's it. And so, do you remember? Have you seen 28 Years Later yet?
No.
Great film. I saw it a couple of days ago, and there's some shots in that where they use that setup with iPhones to capture every so often when a zombie gets killed. They do like a sort of a, but it's not done like Matrix. It's clever. It's a very quick sort of swirl around it.
They had a rig on the zombie, which had loads
really
of
cool.
iPhones on it.
But I think, looking at how smooth that shot, because they gave you an example of that shot with the rugby players, the female rugby players, I don't think the ones they used in the film had Genlock support, and they worked it out manually using.
They worked it out manually
software.
because they had a rig on the zombies, and they had loads of phones.
Yeah, but with Genlock, they could have done that, and it could have been as smooth, because it's quite a stuttery spin in the film. It's cool because it matches kind of like the rough edge, because the whole thing was filmed with iPhones, pretty much. But I think with Genlock it would have been a lot smoother. But I don't know if that would have suited the film style. But what a cool thing to have for Apple to support as well. I know not many people care when they're buying their iPhone about this, but I think what a cool thing, and what else will come out of this. Yeah. I mean, the iPhone Pros are really good camera phones now for professionals. They're a really good option for a lot of people, and because they're so small and light, they can be used in like almost like GoPros in certain situations on rigs and things. It's really impressive. I love that video at the end where they were, filming horses going through mud and dust. And that, I know some people, Bobby is rolling his eyes right now. I know some people find that dull, but as a big enthusiast for filmmaking, I love that. It was very tongue in cheek.
People that have seen our previous content and videos with the three of us will know that when I'm literally 5 seconds from finishing something, and then I will hand it over so that they can talk.
We don't want to wait.
Flipping just bloody goes on one, and I just want to finish this bit.
Go on, you finish this bit, Bobby.
4K, 120 frames per second, video recording in Dolby Vision and HDR. Awesome. Accessories. There is a new tech woven case. Which is a new woven textile, which really interests me because we have fabrics that do all this sort of thing where you use multiple strands or bits of yarn in different colors, and then you weave them together, and it creates a really cool kind of slightly reflective effect. Kind of tonal, iridescent kind of effect.
Bobby, you're going to buy a case.
Look really good. Apparently, they're scratch resistant. I will. Yeah. I will get Apple Care Plus. I'll get everything. I'm going to get the crossbody strap as well.
If it's got the silicone coating, though,
clear
Bobby,
cases, and they will have silicone. And because sometimes I just like to use a case.
That's quite nice.
I just sometimes like to use a case, especially like when I'm doing some of our car vids and stuff. I just feel a little bit more secure because I don't care what ceramic shield or bullshit has got on it. If you drop your phone out of a car window, or if you're filming and there's loads of accidents that can happen when you're running around, basically. Okay?
My case for my phone cost me $11.99 a month.
Okay.
Your
So my
insurance.
Apple Care is my case. If I drop it, it just get replaced, just like you did.
I know, but it's still a pain in the neck because you've got to
You're right.
You pay £12 a month.
That's the Apple Care Plus. I think it's
in
Apple Care
case you
Plus.
drop it.
Yeah, but Alex,
Well,
when you drop your phone, like I
Jesus Christ.
dropped mine, and I had a tiny little crack here, but I got in touch with them and they sent me a replacement within 2 days.
do you remember when I shut my iPhone 12 in the door of a school minibus?
Yeah.
That's when I didn't have Apple Care, and it cost me a fortune to replace it, and put me a phone 13 as a replacement mid pushed my contract on and cocked up all my upgrades there henceforth. So never go back. Anyway, Bobby.
Yes.
Tech woven case.
Also, it means that my trade-in value on my 16 Pro Max has been preserved because I've now got a pristine phone. So that's probably worth about. Yeah, I was just dropped it. But it's in a silicone case. So.
Yes.
There will be clear cases and silicone cases in some lovely new colours. The button design on the cases is a lot more precise and a bit more tactile, and then it's got cross body strap compatibility, which I'm so curious about. 6.9 and 6.3 inch displays. They didn't say anything about the displays looking bigger or the bezels
edge
thinner.
to edge.
But there we go. 256 gig storage, base storage, which is not enough for me. No. And the pricing for all phones is as follows. The 17 starts at $799 with 256 gigs of RAM. The Air 256 gig at $999. £100 more you can go to the Pro. £100 more than that, $11.99 you go for the Max. There is a 2 terabyte option available on the Max for the first time, but that will set you back £2,199, which is freaking nuts. I will just buy one of those tiny little Samsung £20 4 terabyte thumb drives and plug that in if I need it. And that's it. And trade-in values, it looks like trade-in values from Apple direct are going to be really strong. And all phones and watches and the AirPods Pro 3 will be available from September the 19th. Alex, any other thoughts on the new Apple Pro phones?
So they are nice phones. I did think like they're a bit chonky, but like they are nice. I think the only thing I'd sort of say with it is it's good, but you could just get better on an Android. So literally for you talk about how much the fact that it starts a Pro phone starts with 256 gig is ridiculous, because it's basically what it's saying is only idiots will buy the 256 gig, because if you want a Pro phone, you're going to do lots of photos and lots of videos. You're going to eat through 256, no problem.
Alex.
So you're looking at £1,300. So
Alex,
go on.
Do you know that on the Pro phones you can attach a hard drive and record directly to the hard drive whilst using it? So you don't have to, as a Pro, you don't have to have the big tier phones.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just convenient.
You don't want that hassle. I mean, like Bobby's already considering how to have like 2 terabytes in his phone. But like,
but
as
I don't,
as
Alex,
a minimum,
because I've got a SanDisk really compact 4 terabyte external drive that I plug in when I need to.
Lovely.
And I've also got a 2 terabyte Samsung, like a really tiny little USB-C 3 thumb drive. And
that's good.
Yeah, lives with me when I need it.
But the thing is,
but to be honest, I've got 1 terabyte on my 15 Pro Max, which is the one I use the most.
Yeah.
And I very rarely top out the capacity, and I'm using it every single day, as you guys know, for filming stuff and so on.
Yeah.
I'm very good at offloading stuff when I need to, though, that said. But I'll tell you now how much storage this has got after 2 years.
I thought I had the 512, but I'm rocking the 256 on my Pro phone.
I know, sorry. I've got the 512 gig 15 Pro Max. After 2 years, I've still got 266 gig available.
Yeah.
Which tells me you don't need that 512. The 256 will be good enough for you.
But
No,
that's the thing.
the
You've just
512
told,
gives me the headroom that I need. The
yeah, you've
256
said
wouldn't be enough.
you use the
Try it.
you said you use the 512 and you're very good at moving stuff off, which is great. Like, and I'm sure other people will be. So that's awesome. I just think like so what it works out as is for £100 extra, you could get the brand new on a phone, foldable phone with 512 gig of memory. So it's for £100. Like, and that's that's the thing. There is a clear Apple tax going on here, and that's what's a bit annoying because, like, there's nothing to stop them making, like, memory costs are not expensive, so it's nothing to stop them going for 512 gig and just saying, do you know what, we've got you, it's 512, and everyone
Or even
will be
doing
like, wow,
what,
that's amazing.
even doing what Samsung do. Samsung, when they do if you pre-order the phone, we'll
Yep.
give you 1
They
terabyte
wrap it
instead of
in,
5.
don't they?
We'll
They
double
get-
your
they up
memory
you-
basically.
Yeah, exactly. They put you to the next tier. Yeah,
They do that though to
absolutely.
try and snaffle Apple users, though, don't they? Surely.
Yeah,
That's a
it worked with me
Well,
2 years
yeah, I'm
ago.
not surprised.
Yeah.
But like literally, they know this is a problem because they've got this thing down the bottom here, and they're literally going, oh well, it's a good idea to have a bigger phone,
Not sure how much storage to get.
and
Get
I'm
a
just
better
like,
understanding of
oh,
how much
come
space you'll
on.
need.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, I've got the phone's a nice phone. It's a really nice phone. If I was on the Apple ecosystem, I too would be like, yay, I really want it. But paying an extra £200 just for 256 gig of RAM of memory is like ridiculous, and that's what annoys me. It's like, oh well, my starting price is £1,100. No one is buying the £1,100 Pro. Everyone is buying the £1,300 Pro. It's fine, like it's a bit expensive for what it is,
I
but
bought the £1,100.
you're going to have the best. You're going to have the best video and camera that set up. You're going to have a great processor. You're going to have like a really good ecosystem. So I think a lot of people are going to be really happy for it. But so there's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like for me, I couldn't do it.
He paused because he vomited in his mouth.
I was thinking the same thing. Poor Alex. Do you know what?
He just had that thought.
I have a lot of respect for Alex putting up with both of us Apple fanboys to giving him grief. He's
No,
full his
but you
corner
see-
admirably, and
Come
I'm
along to the
really
Apple-
impressed with him.
Come along to the Apple thing, you said.
Yeah.
You said it'll be fun.
It'll be
all
fine.
right."
You'll enjoy it.
Come
be
along.
great.
You've been a whipping
we'll
boy
have
for the last
we'll have
2
a few
hours.
laughs.
I'm just annoyed because I'm like, you could do better, Apple. Like, I really, honestly, I would really love the Pro in orange, but I can't. I literally cannot buy it. There's just no way I could physically buy it, and that's frustrating. Not for the money. That's a whole separate problem. But just for everything else, that's Apple.
For all the
That's my-
other ecosystem parts, all the other
Yeah.
parts of the system.
So that's all it is. But anyway, I did say I wouldn't rant again, so I'm going to put that in a box.
So
Anyway.
I'm not sure when pre-orders open. They probably go live.
12th, was it?
They said you can
Not
pre-order
today. Not
Or is
today.
it tomorrow, perhaps?
Maybe tomorrow.
Because I'm trying to buy one now, on just to see if I can
No,
do
you
it.
can't. I think maybe Friday pre-orders go live. I don't know. Let's
Pre-orders
have a
on the
look.
12th.
On the 12th.
Yeah, okay.
That's Monday,
Friday.
right? No.
No, Friday.
Ah, yeah. Sorry, my days are getting really screwed up this week.
You're going to need to
Okay.
get your
Yeah.
time right though, because I think it's an odd.
1 o'clock.
Because if you want the orange, you're going to have to get it straight away. Otherwise, you're going to.
I
delay.
plan to wait a couple of months, and because the orange will be back in stock by then, and get what I want in November, I think. So Bobby can do. You can talk about it when you get it, but I'm going to
I'm
get
putting
it
it
in
in my
November.
diary now, like 12:30. I know it's at 1 o'clock, but at 12:30, no
Three
one,
different
no one
tabs
call
open.
me. Don't
4
text
tabs.
me. Don't freaking try
I'm gonna
recording a podcast or whatever. Shut up. Go away. Because
gonna
I'm
be
literally
bugging
just
you.
gonna be like tapping on my keys like a demented monkey.
F5. Yeah.
What are you
I mean,
ordering, John? And when?
Well, once I can transfer accounts over to my proper account O2, I'm going to order I'm going to order the Cosmic Orange Pro Max 512. I've never had a Pro Max before, so this will be a
You'll
bit
like
bigger.
But it is. It's expensive.
It's expensive, but I have phones for a long time. I've had my Pro for 4 years.
Yeah.
So that'll last me for a long time. And I'll probably get the Ultra 3 watch to go with it. I don't really need a new watch. It works fine. So I might hold back. I might get it later on in the year. We'll see how that goes. But yes,
Yeah,
and I'm not
it's a
getting the
better idea.
AirPods Pros.
You'll
So just
get
those two.
more. You'll get the better agreement if you like.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just got the phone. I didn't need anything else.
Yeah.
Good luck, Bobby, getting this through with
Well,
the other
Becca's
half.
getting my wife's getting my old phone because she needs a new phone. So she's happy to get the Pro Hammer because it's got a new battery in it. So she'll be happy with that.
Nice.
Her phone's
I
an old
thought about
XR
doing that with my
XR
foldable.
phone.
I thought about doing that with mine, but I don't think Mrs. wants it, which is a bit of a shame.
You talking about the phone here, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a shame. But can you do swap out like iPhones? You trade in.
Not really. Yeah, foldable prices, trade-in prices are a bit of an issue, but also Apple really if you keep up to date, then they do give you quite a bit of money
They
back.
do, yeah.
Whereas Android, it's about the market, whereas Apple creates its own and it makes its own prices. So,
Are you going to
but
buy
anyway,
any Apple products, Alex?
unfortunately, I just can't. I wish honestly, the Ultra watch is nice, and I would have been rocking that, but there's no chance. And the phone is lovely, but that's just big a jump for me at the moment. There's just no way I could do it.
Right.
I have a Mac for work, and the only reason that I have a Mac for work, because it's a lovely Mac, but the only reason that I have it is because the battery life on it's so good, and there's just there's nothing it can compete with that unless you even the latest ones aren't
When
quite as good.
parents at my school ask about university devices, I always say a Mac because they have a longer shelf life. You better value for money.
Yeah, but
They last longer. They have better
there are
battery.
great PCs around. In fact,
yeah.
the latest ones are actually the battery life issue is almost sorted, but it's just Apple's way.
I-
Don't you find it funny on that though with shelf life that with MacBooks? So there's a problem that Apple have with MacBooks that people
too
who are
good.
still on the M1 MacBooks are not upgrading because they're so bloody good. Even the M1 MacBook Air.
I'm
They'll
still using my
With
M1
phones,
desktop.
because
my
Apple
M1
Silicon's so
iMac.
good, right? But with phones, Apple Silicon in our phones is brilliant. And really, there's no need to upgrade. I don't need to upgrade my 15 Pro Max. It works absolutely fine. But why do we have this thing where so many people want to upgrade their phones like every year or two? I know there are those of us that, sort of special
Or their
people
car, Bob,
that have to have the latest thing.
Idiot.
But
Yeah.
and I almost feel like, do you know what I mean? I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to do anything. My 16 Pro for personal's absolutely fine. My 15 Pro for work is absolutely fine.
They are.
But you know the problem? This effing YouTube channel. I was like, but
Don't blame
it'd be
the
really
channel,
nice to
Bobby.
unbox one, wouldn't it?
I think before
that's an excuse.
before you tell us, Bobby, let's predict, Alex. So see if you
What
agree
I'm
with me.
gonna
What Bobby's going to get. Okay, here we go. So, all right, just for what he's we'll finish off with this because it's getting quite late and Bobby's got to edit or wants to edit. But so he's going to get the Cosmic Orange iPhone Pro Max 512. He's going to stick with the same size. I don't think he needs a terabyte.
That's right.
Yeah. He's going to get the Apple Watch Ultra Black, 3 Black, and he's going to get the AirPods Pro 3.
Do you think he would go
And
for
he's going to
the
get
Pro,
an Air for Carolina.
Yeah, he'll definitely get the Air for Carolina.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd go for the black iPhone Pro? Because that would go with the watch, and like it's very style conscious.
No, but on the watch
no,
there's an
you think
orange
it'll
bit
go orange.
just here,
Okay.
even on the black, and it goes with your phone still, and that's a good excuse.
I've got a Cosmic Orange torch. Does that count? See,
got a pen.
is it the same? Yeah, go. That's.
I've got a Cosmic Orange beer can. There we go.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
I'm amazed they
I'll
haven't made
fish out a
international orange
Tizer.
like this is international orange, isn't it, on your Apple Watch Ultra?
So
Are we right,
I
Bobby?
probably am going
we
to
right?
upgrade my work phone, the 15 Pro, to this 17 Pro Max with 512 gig in the Cosmic Orange.
Put it on
Yeah,
expenses.
Because, that colour. The watch, I am going to do the Ultra 3 in black, and I will get the AirPods Pro 3 because when I go to the Apple, even if I don't pre-order them, when I go to the Apple store to pick my phone and my watch up,
You won't be able to stop
I know
yourself.
everyone in there. They will always
They'll
have.
upsell you. They'll upsell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They know you.
I'll just go chuck one of those on as well.
For a second, Bobby, in the video, I thought for a second when they closed the lid of the AirPods Pro case up, it went very dark. For a second, I thought they had a black version of it with black earpods and posts.
So did I. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? And I was gutted when, or even like, imagine if they did cosmic orange ones. It'd be amazing. But they didn't. So, because they just don't repaint their AirPods. They know that the third party people can do it for them. Just don't do it. And it's the one part of Apple I wish they would do is colour their AirPods.
You can actually pre-order the AirPods Pro 3 now.
Yeah. Well, because they're not tied to contracts, are they? In cellular.
No, that's right.
Okay.
So that's why you can get hold of them.
219.
That's $249. That's not bad. So we're actually benefiting from the tariff rates there, aren't we? Almost, I think.
Yeah,
it's the first time it's been cheaper in the UK. And I presume the price in America is pre-tax, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pre-tax, but
pre-tax.
Also I think that the Apple are actually under the thumb by Trump on tariffs.
Yeah.
So I think if they were to up them by the £100 they probably would need to, then I think they would end up getting abuse from Trump. So I think they're at I suspect they're probably taking a bite on profits for the next 6 months,
which they can afford to absorb.
And then maybe in 12 months, and then they'll add another £100 in or $100.
Did you see that horrific video of Tim Cook having dinner with Trump and Sam Altman and all the other people?
No, I couldn't watch it.
No, oh my God! I know he's got to do it. He's a good businessman. He has to, but he was really, it was cringe. It was awful to watch how much he was kowtowing to Mango Mussolini.
Yeah.
So anyway, we want to finish our lovely podcast on that.
Right,
I'm very excited about these products, Bobby. I'm looking forward to trying them out. I'll be getting mine a little bit later than you, I think, to once I'm out of contract properly.
Yeah.
And we'll have fun with those.
Yeah, I think I might actually end up buying the AirPods Pro 3
first
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'll get those pre-ordered, and then I'll be on the pre-orders on Friday to get the other lot, and then hopefully I'll get in time to get them on release day, and then I'll unbox them and put them through their paces and all that other lovely stuff. So anyone who's watching the replay of this, because I think only one person actually watched the live thing. It says there's 7 new messages.
Thanks, Rush.
Oh yeah. Sorry, it was all Rush. Yeah, thank you. You're awesome. We are still figuring all this stuff out as we go along, but there's loads of stuff to come. There is some BMW, there's some more G87 content coming because my car is booked in to get lowered and the wheels spaced out. So it's happening. I may or may not have had something else with 4 wheels delivered recently, but I can't say too much about that right now because it is a surprise for my wife. And John looks really worried. A skateboard, yes. A skateboard, yes. And it's got 4 rings.
No, I'm not going there.
It's an Audi.
An Audi? Oh.
4 rings. Must be an Audi.
Yeah. And then, there's going to be more tech stuff than that. And
Bobby, I'm rocking a Merc at the moment.
Who?
I'm driving a Merc at the moment.
Oh, because you've got that as a hire.
I think
your Leaf.
We could have a car discussion at some point, but I have got a long story about that, but not now because it's too late.
Yeah.
About why I'm driving a Merc at the moment. So.
There's loads of stuff to come. So if you feel so inclined, please hit that subscribe button and follow. And if you're listening on whatever podcast vessel you happen to listen on, please leave a review because it really, really helps the algorithms to drive people to find us. And that's it. It's nearly 10 o'clock. I've now got to go and edit this and get it up live. For all you lovely people, I will say thank you to John and thank you so much to Alex today for being such a good sport.
You owe me.
Our Android punch bag in the corner there. Sorry, Alex.
Exactly. Do you know what, Alex? I'm going to buy
They
you
are
an Apple.
nice.
I'm going to buy you something Apple, or send you some Apple stickers.
Yeah,
I've
there
got.
we go.
for that.
Can I just say, I have got, Bobby, about 1,000 Apple stickers because this weekend I cleared out 4 bin bags of all my Apple boxes that I've been saving.
Good. Well done.
All of them, literally. I found 3 sets of Lightning headphones in them. I found 4 plugs, and I've literally, and 5 of those pin. Oh, that's a bit rude. 5 of those, you know, the
The old AirPods style.
No, the SIM pin things that push out the SIM card.
Yeah.
And then literally hundreds of Apple stickers and 1 Beat sticker.
You should put them on eBay.
What, the stickers? Because you can't get them anymore,
Yeah.
can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
eBay
give it a
them.
go.
Yeah, brilliant. Anyway, thank you. That's been Tailoring Talk Magazine. That's been the Apple event. I think there probably will be another one in a couple months' time because we're going to be expecting new iPads, MacBooks, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, thanks a lot for listening or watching, and we will see you on the next one. Let us know if you're planning to pre-order anything, what you are wanting to go for. And if you've got any questions about whether you should be upgrading or not, please feel free to get in touch with us, and we will advise you as best we can. Maybe direct those questions at me and John, because if you direct them at Alex, he will call you an idiot and tell you to buy an Android. That's it for now. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Well, it is right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.